everyone. Laura K-Buzz here. Gosh, I'm going to try and get through this nice and quick today because there's a video game from E3 that has a demo and I want to try and play it. Yeah, hello everyone. Laura K-Buzz here. We're going to do another Not Quite live stream where we go back through some of the press conferences that have happened today at E3 and basically summarise what happened, look over the things that look interesting that we want to see more of, skip over a lot of stuff that's not so interesting to us. Yeah, I watched through the PC Gaming Show voluntarily this year because apparently that's a thing that I felt like I should do. Hello to everyone in the chat. There are a lot of names going past. I will say hello to some people in a moment. PC Gaming Show, we can rattle through this one pretty quick. There was... Let's skim through all of the preamble. There's Evil Geniuses 2 to kick off with. A lot of these trailers are very short. Was this it? Evil Geniuses 2, I think? Evil Geniuses 2 World Domination. You build an evil lair that hopefully spies won't be able to get into or escape from. You train up your evil villains. That is coming out... don't know when. That is coming out at some point. We got some footage of Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines, which is coming out in Q1 next year. It looks quite nice. It looks very Vampire the Masquerade-ish. Oh, it's all dark and spooky. If you go and find humans with a specific emotional range and drink their blood, you get some of that emotional range. You feel a bit more human again. What was after this? I'm literally just going to skip through this one. There was a lot of games shown, and I'm going to be honest, most of what we saw was just pre-rendered CGI trailers that told us fucking nothing about what these games were, which is why I'm skipping through this one so fast. This is Starmancer, which is the new game from Chucklefish. You manage a colony in an isometric view, build a space station, customize it, keep life stable, meet new people. Some of them will be nice, some of them will be very not nice. As you will see in a second, you can make friends or potentially make enemies. Oh no, people have broken onto your ship, everyone's trying to kill you now, it's a very bad time. It's a fun looking game. Do we know when it's coming out? I don't think there was a date given for this one either. We got a trailer for Chivalry 2. You can dismember people's fucking limbs and cut people's heads off. Yep. Fairly brutal decapitations. It's going to be an Epic Store timed exclusive when it releases in 2020 at some point. Oh, Midnight Ghost Hunt. This one actually looked kind of cool. I want to skip ahead to this. Oh, I got my... Okay, I've got my order slightly wrong here. Maybe.
Talk to me about
Where's Planet Zoo?
Chivalry 2, Steve.
Well, Chivalry 2 is about bringing players into their favorite medieval movie battle. And our flagship game mode, Team Objective, does that by having players complete medieval objectives like sieging castles, raiding villages.
Oh, this is just a sizzle reel we're getting in a second.
Early 2020, and it's coming first to the Epic Games Store.
There's Mosaic. I have no idea what the fuck Mosaic is. Can anyone in the chat explain to me what Mosaic is when we get here? Yeah, Starmancer's release date is just coming soon, apparently. Okay, yeah, so there's apparently a Mosaic game that is available now. Sorry, a clicker game that is available now that promotes Mosaic. I don't know what the fuck Mosaic is. It has, like, an interesting art style. We'll, skip ahead a little into the trailer. Like, there's a clicker game. It's gonna blow your mind. This is what the PC Gaming Conference was full of today. Was a lot of, like, this is coming in 2019. What is it? Who knows? But you can get Blip Blop now, and that's the game that is the center of the story, I think, in Mosaic. Everyone's getting a bit too obsessed with their phones. Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is Midnight Ghost Hunt. It's a 4v4 multiplayer game where 4 people play as ghost hunters and 4 people play as ghosts that can hide in inanimate objects. It looks pretty fun. So you might have tools to be able to track the ghosts. You think you found them, you start trying to absorb your ghost, and suddenly everything kicks off, as you'll see in a second. Again, it's another CGI trailer for a game, but like, oh no, the ghost in the chair is going to attack you. Now it's a ghost in a suit of armor, it's going to do a wobble at you. There's something here that looks somewhat like gameplay, and I'm always a fan of silly asynchronous concepts where you, like, I like this idea that you can just leap from object to object to try and attack the humans. It's probably one of the most interesting looking things that we saw during the conference.
So those are kind of the two aspects.
Let's have a look. What did we learn about it? The focus is on the ghosts hiding rather than trying to fight. Hunters have to find the ghosts. The developer here who talks about the game, I will say, he was slightly nervous and excited and very passionate, and like, yeah, he was more interesting to watch than just another boring man in a suit, I suppose. Okay, next we have Unexplored 2. You play as some kind of little creature in a fairly beautiful neon cell shaded world. It definitely, someone pointed out on Twitter, its art style and colour palette feel very reminiscent to Sable, if you've been looking forward to that game. You have magic, it's isometric, you try and fight your way through a somewhat dangerous world, it seems. It will probably try and kill you a lot. There is a lot of world to explore. Pick your route. Try and find your way around this big map and go on big adventures. This looks kind of fun as well. This is one that, like, I haven't written off. It's an interesting looking one, I'll give it that. What came after this? Skimming ahead. Yeah, I love the colour palettes on this. This is the primary thing. I'm like, anything that makes nice use of colours catches my interest. I like this big old face that is apparently somewhat important. Right, let's skip ahead. Mutant Year Zero, Seed of Evil. That's coming on July 30th. It's an expansion for Mutant Year Zero. Conan Unconquered is already out, and for some reason that got a new trailer, even though it's already out. There's a game coming at Halloween called Moons of Madness. It's a horror game about tentacle aliens in space. This one looks kind of spooky and interesting. It looks like a fairly polished Escape the Space Station game with a kind of creepy monster. It gave me kind of Alien Isolation vibes a little bit. Like, I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what it reminded me of watching the trailer. And I'm like, yeah, I could go for some of this.
Who would have thought?
Skipping ahead a bit. Oh, so if any of you remember back at on April 1st, there was an April Fool's joke that Conan Chop Chop was going to be a game, which is like a top-down, chibi, cartoonish Conan the Barbarian, somewhat similar to like a what's the fucking game I'm thinking of? Castle Crashers type thing. It was an April Fool's joke that they're now making into a full game. That's coming out on September 3rd to Xbox One, Switch, PC, and PS4. That looks fun. That looks silly. That is one of the few things that actually looked kind of interesting. And hooray, it's coming to Switch as well, because that's where I fucking play everything these days.
So there you have it, Conan Chop Chop. It's a roguelike.
Oh yeah, we've got another one. Last Oasis. It's set in a world where the world has stopped turning, so there's big old deserts everywhere. You can do melee combat down on the ground, or you can do ship-to-ship combat on these like wooden ships with feet, with the sails. I know that there's a name for these things. They're a thing, but I don't know what the fucking name of them is. It seems like all the resources are gone because everything got too dry. Fight over resources in a big sand desert. do big murder fights because we ran out of stuff. So that's Last Oasis. Last Oasis is also September 3rd. Planetfall is coming on August 6th. It's a 4X strategy game. The only thing I really took away from watching this trailer was, and we'll see it in a second, there's fucking attack penguins. I want to be the class that gets attack penguins. Where's the attack penguins? Come on, show me attack penguins. Oh yeah, there they are. Aha. Come on, here they are, attack penguins. Oh. Look at these beauties, these attack penguins. You see them for half a second, but that's enough to get me excited in a game if I can have attack penguins. Next up, let's just skip ahead, or get ready to skip ahead. There's a lot of stuff we can skip through in this conference. This conference was 2 hours long, and we are going to get through it in like 20 minutes, I'm sure. So this is a new game from the developers of Sniper Elite 2. It's set in 1946. Remnant from the Ashes is the name of it. It's a post-apocalyptic shooter. Squad-based, there's zombies everywhere. You can set traps, you can use non-sniper weapons, you can use, like, you know, regular guns and things. Oh, sorry, this isn't Remnant of the Ashes, this is, no, this is not Remnants of the Ashes, this is, what's it called? Zombie Army Dead War 4. Sorry, my notes got slightly messy. It's coming to PS4 and Xbox One as well. There was no gameplay in this trailer. They showed you setting up traps, they showed you using guns that weren't snipers. They didn't fucking show any gameplay. Apparently gameplay's coming soon, whatever that means in this context. I don't know when soon is. Yeah, Zombie Army 4, that's the one. Right, let's skip ahead a bit. Okay, this is Remnant of the Ashes we're about to skip ahead to. Post-apocalyptic shooter for Xbox One, PS4, PC. So this is a co-op shooter coming out on August 20th, and the deal with this one is that the environments, the maps, the characters, the bosses are all... They're all, like, actually crafted by the developer, but the way that the order they put them together and they stitch them together is apparently randomized. So, like, the order you will collect loot, the order you'll find quests, the order that you'll fight bosses is all randomized from playthrough to playthrough, is apparently this game's whole big deal. It's using very large developer-made chunks to make a procedurally made game, or a procedurally assembled game. So that's Remnant from the Ashes, coming out August 20th. Okay, I really like Griftlands, which is, I think, our next one to skip ahead to. I'm gonna skip ahead through, like, all of the just developers waffling about games. So, I love this art style. This looks really nice. It's a card-based adventure game, so I want to skip back here for a second. In a conversation, the character here uses a fast talk card, basically to try and sort of like, trick them with you know, fancy words. It seems like you will have various cards in a deck to try and deal with situations as you come across them in this sort of adventure game. So here, like, you're in a conversation, so you have set up, threaten, fast talk. You have a different set of cards for when you're in combat, as we will see in a second. Yeah, it's basically card-based combat to try and succeed at various things. You could try and fight your way into this scenario, and again you have fight-based cards. In this scenario, again, it doesn't work, so the player goes to a different location, or goes and recruits some people first, and then does the fight, and then they win. Again, I don't entirely know the mechanics in depth on this one, but this one seems interesting. I like the art style, I like the design, I like the concept of card-based interactions. There is apparently an alpha coming on July 11th, so like only a month out before there's a beta for this, or an alpha for this. I want to give that a go. It's I believe it's an Epic Store exclusive, at least temporarily. Skipping ahead, let's look at Planet Zoo. So Planet Zoo, really adorable looking, realistic animals. However, I will point out something in a second. I do not think this trailer needed, and we will get there in a second, realistic hippo defecation. I don't think we needed hippo defecation followed by, here is a man with a hippo shit sucking gun that sucks up the hippo shit. That is not necessarily how I would have sold a game. There is some interesting little details about this one that I will drop out there quickly. The people making it have said that apparently a big part of their focus is not just about seeing pretty animals, but trying to promote conservation efforts, learning about animals, promoting animal happiness and health and welfare. Basically trying to be like a modern zoo with modern zoo values, which I'm kind of into that. Yeah. The animals all look cute. I don't need that level of realism, if I'm honest. It's coming November 5th. That's cute. We got a new trailer for Shenmue 3. The Shenmue developer came and spoke. He didn't really say anything of any interest. The game kind of looks nicer in this trailer than it did the last time we saw it. It still looks a little bit cheap and plasticky. Like, I think it's trying to not look drastically different from an up-resed version of the original game. Oh, all of these people who apparently live in Asia, in various parts of Asia, all have incredibly American voices in ways that feel a little odd, and it stands out a little bit in some shots in the trailer.
Stop it. They threaten and extort money from shop owners, get drunk by noon, and cause trouble. Everyone in town is afraid of them.
They are heartless.
Hey, wait right there!
Okay.
This is him, the Japanese guy who got in our way.
You've got some guts to barge in here on your own.
It's just a couple of lines like that where it's like, hey, it's that Japanese guy. Where it's just said in such an American way that it just feels slightly jarring and tonally weird. Where do we go from here? Oh, Songs of Conquest. So Songs of Conquest is a pixel art, top-down, turn-based game. It's apparently very similar to Heroes of Might and Magic, if you've ever played that. Build an army, explore the world, defend your town, adventure strategy game. There's this whole thing they do with magic where in order to do magic you need to have a person with the right kind of energy in your team, and if that team member dies, then your magic user can't use that kind of magic anymore. It's coming out in late 2020. There's not a huge amount to see in this trailer again. It's the art style above everything else trailer, really. Skipping ahead, we got Vermintide 2. That's getting a PvP mode called Versus. I don't know when that's coming, but it's getting a PvP mode if you're into Vermintide. It's that game with the big rat people that you have to deal with in the Warhammer universe. Next up we have Per Asper. It's coming out in 2020. It's a game about working as an AI, trying to terraform Mars. It's an interesting idea. Yeah, so you are a human that got made into an AI so that you could terraform Mars because humans couldn't get there, do the job, and get back alive. So they sent AI to do it. humans are trying to move to Mars. Again, we don't see much.
Assassin's Creed universe,
Coming
our
in
next guest
2020.
I'm an ancestor.
Uh,
Right? Of all
oh,
the games.
this is the
And
new
then
game
you
from the
have to
Ubisoft guy.
explore your environment, and
Ancestors.
eventually
Is that what
you
it's called?
expand your
Ancestors?
territory, you expand your
Yeah,
clan,
it's a
because
game about human
you're not playing
evolution.
that
You play as
one
our
badass
last
character.
common ancestor with all
You
the
play
great
a group
apes,
of
and
badass characters.
you play as a
And
group
eventually you
of
evolve
of
into different
of this
species,
species.
up until
You
Lucy, the
evolve,
Lucifer,
survive,
was roughly 2
try and
million
grow
years
from
ago.
being the
I
prey
imagine
to
our
being the
ancestors
predator.
had,
Comes out in
a lot
August.
more
It's not very far off at
than
all.
we do today. There's going to be a lot more dangers in this
Yeah.
world, so tell me a bit more about those.
Well, it's all about from a prey to a predator.
I don't think we
Basically,
actually
at the
see much
beginning
other
of
than
the game,
yeah, we see the
everybody's
gor-
there
the
to
the
kill
apes
you
climbing and
and
eating
devour you.
fruit.
And
That's
basically
about
at the
it.
end, it's pretty much you. You're
Um,
the predator, and everybody's afraid of you.
From there we got a trailer for. Oh, okay. Oh no, we did get to see a brief snippet of Do a Fight. Oh, this is just an indie sizzle reel. I do need to pause this. I don't know what the Pathless is. Looks kind of fun. I was trying to catch this stuff while I was watching it live. Oh, if you haven't heard of Untitled Goose Game, watch this trailer. Untitled Goose Game is great. You play a goose. Your entire job is to just, like, fucking mess with everyone's shit. By, like, you know, honking at people, stealing a man's hat. It's great. I want that game. ASAP. We saw this one already. Game about being in mechs, apparently. That looks pretty cool. Atomic Crops. Murder a bunch of evil vegetables that got too big. Rune 2. Viking fighty game, I guess. What the Golf? It's a golf game where you're not hitting the ball usually. Sojourn. I couldn't work out what that was from the sizzle reel. There's a lot of these where the sizzle reel footage just tells us nothing, or it's a game we already saw. And there we go, it's already... Oh no, we're pretty much done with the sizzle reel already. Okay, so we got a trailer. Let me skim back here a bit. We got a trailer for Auto Chess. I'm not gonna lie, I learned nothing about what this game is. It's chess, where presumably you have to pick classes and characters and stuff. A man came on stage to explain Auto Chess, and he did not really explain what it was. He repeatedly said, "It is Auto Chess, and we are very excited that it's coming to the Epic Games Store, and it's Auto Chess. Please enjoy Auto Chess. It's coming to the Epic Games Store." That's all I got out of this man. He really did not say anything that I could translate into additional meaning about the game. Oh, I'm kind of into this one. Chris Tales? It's coming in 2020. It's a female-led RPG set across 3 simultaneous time periods. There's apparently a demo on Steam, like, right now, and I need to go check this out. So I will pause in a second when we get the cool-looking thing happens.
And would you be strong enough to fight?
So, you have a cool sword. I'm always up for ladies with swords going on RPG adventures. Do a big fight against a wolf. Experience the past, the present, and the future at once, simultaneously. So, the trailer seems to suggest that the screen will simultaneously, like, on the left show the past, the middle show the present, the right show the future, and that will be a gameplay mechanic in this RPG. And I'm really into that. That's a really cool looking mechanic.
Act in the present.
Yeah.
You can rewrite the future.
Yeah, you can affect the past and the future in order to change your situation in the present. And that seems like a really cool idea. I want to try this demo. It looks very fun. Then we've got Valfaris.
In PC gaming.
Valfaris. It's a pixel art over the top bullet hell type shooter that occasionally it's got a heavy metal soundtrack. Involves a lot of headbanging. It occasionally looks a little bit Metroid-y. it seems like the Doom equivalent of Metroid. It's like stick heavy metal and like hell on top of very Metroid-y designs with like goo blobs with eyes. Murder, shoot your way out. It's all very frantic. There's electricity and mechs. I don't entirely know how to process what I'm seeing.
Just incredible.
Also, the sprites look like they are video footage that was sort of compressed down, like they used to do for sprites. Oh, Borderlands 3. There's a Borderlands 3 section. We got basically nothing new from Borderlands. I think we can skip ahead. Maneater. You play as a shark that eats things to grow up and get more powers to be a better shark. Your villain is Scaly Pete, this fisherman dude here. He likes to think he's the best shark catcher around. He disfigured you, the baby shark, as a baby, and you now have to try and grow and get bigger by eating things in order to eventually defeat Scaly Pete, who wants to eat you. I am very up for this. It seems ridiculous. They keep describing it as GTA, but you're a shark, and I'm like, yeah, I'm on board with that. I want to eat shit as a shark. We don't know exactly when it's coming out. It's apparently coming out sometime before E3 next year, is the plan. But it looks fun. It looks more polished than it did when it showed up last year.
Whatever you can find. And that's
yeah, be a shark, eat things, get stronger. There's a gaming chair. Terraria Journey's End. It's the penultimate update to the game. I don't follow Terraria well enough to recognise what in this is new. I didn't know Terraria still existed and was still getting updates. Apparently so. If anyone in the chat knows what's new about this, let me know. Sure, I'd be fascinated to know. It's more Terraria. Sure. Oh, we do have another one I'm excited for. Let's skip ahead. So this is Telling Lies, which is the new game by Sam Barlow, who's the developer of Her Story. It's apparently got about 10 hours of footage to be seen. It's mechanically a very similar game to Her Story, which if you didn't play it, it was a full motion video game about going through a police database, finding footage of interviews with a woman who was suspected of murder, and you would type in keywords into the complete police database, and it would pull up any clips where that word was said in the transcript. It seems like a similar format here. You can click a word in the subtitles in order to find all clips that include that word. The general premise this time is a woman stole an NSA hard drive that contains discussions between 4 friends with some kind of big secret. Something went very wrong. It's another one where there's no like definitive endpoint. It's find as much of the many of the clips as you can and try and put together in your head what the story is in a non-linear manner. It apparently releases very soon, and there will be more info very soon. I really enjoyed Her Story. I want another game in that fashion. So yeah, here's the computer desktop.
It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly.
Yeah, it's about digging through people's lives and trying to learn what all their stories are by working your way through the clips and trying to find pertinent words to do a search for. Warframe. There was some stuff to do with Warframe.
Oh, Sam.
So Warframe, there's an Empyrean expansion that is getting revealed fully on July 6th. Your space ninjas can properly go to space. It's another CGI trailer that didn't really tell us anything. There'll be gameplay in like a month. You get a free thing if you watch the stream. This is Genesis Noir. It's a jazz noir adventure set during the Big Bang. Very surreal, super unclear what the actual gameplay is. Like, the art style looks cool, but, like, I have no fucking clue what this game is. Like, is any of this gameplay? Is this just a representative trailer? Is it clicking on things? Is it walking through environments? It's another trailer during this conference that tells me nothing about what this game is. And that's just kind of frustrating. I feel like several of these games I left just having no clue what they were. The last one, El space Hijo. I'm just going to acknowledge straight up I don't know how to pronounce it, and I have not learned how to pronounce it yet because I went from the PC Gamer Conference into Ubisoft straight to doing this stream. El Nino, potentially. If anyone can give me a pronunciation guide, I will certainly try and get my pronunciation better on that one. So yeah, you play as a 6-year-old trying to escape from a monastery using tricks and toys. It was described as a stealth spaghetti western. The way I would describe it, if we skip a second ahead in this footage, is it looks like an entire game made out of that opening section of Ocarina of Time where you were trying to sneak into Hyrule Castle. It's a lot of climb over the beams so they don't see you because they're walking underneath you, sneak behind the hedge maze. It basically seems like that Ocarina of Time Hyrule Castle section stretched out into a whole game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, you know, very matter of fact that that's what this looks like. You're a little kid doing stealth. I don't know why you're trapped in the monastery, but you would like to not be, seems to be the case. And last up, we got Baldur's Gate 3, which I think we just got the same trailer we saw previously. Yeah, the same one we got. When was that? Was it during the Microsoft conference? No. When did that Baldur's Gate trailer show up?
About some of the gameplay elements, because obviously, you know, there's just been a big research.
No, it wasn't. It wouldn't have been Devolver. What was there last night? No, I don't remember where we saw it, but we got a little bit of news about that game. It's based on the rule set for D&D 5th edition. They ported over as much of the player rulebook as possible. The aim was to capture the feel of each class, if possible. There is a prequel tabletop game coming, tabletop module. So you can... There is a bit of a bridge between 2 and 3. That's pretty cool. The game will be releasing when it's ready. So that's honestly everything you needed to know from 2 hours of the PC conference, summarized into half an hour. Iho. Okay. El Iho is apparently the pronunciation of that one. Thank you very much for the pronunciation guides. Yeah, does anyone have any questions or comments about the PC conference? And then we'll jump onto Ubisoft, because I would like to get Ubisoft out of the way ASAP, ideally. Yeah, there's mind flayers or illithids or whatever you want to call them. The squids that eat brains are a big thing in Baldur's Gate 3. We kind of knew that. That was shown in the trailers. Oh, some people have already tried to play some rounds of Roller Champions. Forgot how to shoot. Apparently everyone else did. The whole team spent 10 minutes and no one shot at the goal. Okay, the PC Gaming Conference this year was the same as it's ever been. I think that they would probably do themselves a big service by cutting out probably half of the interviews they do, because their interviews are fluff pieces that usually tell us nothing. Stick to trailers and release dates, keep a much tighter pace. You could get this thing down to an hour, and I probably would be a lot more okay with it. It's the fact that every 3 minutes we're stopping to do an interview where it's like, and what genre is this game that you've just shown us the trailer for? When can we expect more? The interviews, I don't think, serve this conference well. I think that this conference would do much better if they just told people, when you're putting a trailer together, make sure all the information you want told is in the trailer. We're just going to go bam, 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 trailer, 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 trailer. Maybe a few interviews here and there, but, like, don't don't feel the need to do an interview between every single trailer. They are softball interviews that don't give any actual real information and are at best, at worst, cringy, and at best, like, fine. Yeah, just present the info, we don't need the questions. Totally right, Lozzie. Couldn't agree more. Right, so, time to skip over to the much more interesting conference, which is the Ubisoft conference. Now, before the conference started, some Assassin's Creed reveals happened that, like, weren't part of the actual conference. So they opened with an Assassin's Creed Symphony Orchestra, which seemed odd because it's like, oh, there's no Assassin's Creed game this year. Why are they doing that? Apparently there was Assassin's Creed news. Oh, let me turn that down a bit. So apparently there is now, available right now, there is a story editor for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. You can create your own stories, quests, dialogue trees. It's available, like, right the heck now, apparently. I haven't had a chance to look at it properly, but it sounds like an interesting idea. I don't know whether you can share that user-generated content with other people, but if so, that would be an interesting way to keep things going for a year until they release another game. Also, does that mean I can make my own story in which my Cassandra goes back to being gay as the day is long, please? Right, let's talk about Watch Dogs Legion, because that's the interesting thing that I wanted to... I have opinions on this. Being a Brit, being one of us, you know, pip pip cheerio, what tea and crumpets, British person. Let's... the preview thing's not working, so I can't see how far I have to skip ahead to get to where I want. I'm gonna have to do a lot of pausing and skimming. Okay, so... Watch Dogs Legion, it's set in London. The trailer we got talks a lot about recruiting an army to fight back against a corrupt government and extremists, drones everywhere. There's a lot of sections of this that look like very recognisable bits of London. Like, can I just say, this woman, who I'm going to scroll back to, I feel like she's clearly meant to be a riff on Theresa May. She just reminds me too much of Theresa May. But, yeah, the area we see at the start is definitely Piccadilly Circus. Let's skip ahead slightly. Yeah, like, you know, we don't have that many, you know, Union Jack flags hanging around, but, like, this is a pretty accurate depiction of the... Well, actually, maybe the Union flags are there because it's post-Brexit, because we'll get to that in a second. This game is set in post-Brexit London, which... you know, talking about corrupt government and extremists and drones and surveillance in post-Brexit London. I'm going to hit on this point several times, but this is politics, people. This is a video game with politics. Ubisoft may try and tell you it's not a video game with politics, but this is a video game with politics, and I am not going to let them forget it. So you play as the demo starts with this dude who sounds like Danny Dyer, who needs to find an NPC that can deal with drones to recruit. You put on a skull and crown mask to fight off some police officers. So yeah, this is how the NPC's mechanic seems to work. Is wander around and you can see like what are the cool things about each NPC. So yeah, this dude, addicted to adrenaline, 100% damage, may die randomly. He's a stuntman. He's a stuntman who is currently posting photos to Piccadilly Circus. The whole deal here is that you can apparently play as any NPC that has one of these boxes at the very least. You can just play as, and you need to find specific ones. Like Danny Dyer is currently trying to find someone who can hack drones or deal with drones. Yeah, where is... we found someone that can deal with drones. Yeah, he's someone who's going off to deal with some group, but you know he's a drones expert, so it's like, let's try and get this character recruited.
Engineering training, but he has several mischief charges for hijacking Albion drones.
Here we go. Okay, so the dude tries to start a fight with the police, so it's like, you can step in. Yeah, try and make sure that your drone expert doesn't get arrested. I want to pause on something specific in a second. So, you start a fight with the police that you apparently just can't win. Or it seems like was a bad fight to pick, because the drones start on you. This is what I wanted to get on, was you're critically injured. Surrender or resist? Which I assume the option there is, if you surrender, I'm guessing you go to prison, and that NPC won't be available to you for a while, but they will eventually come back and you can, like, have them in your party still. Would be the implication. Or resist, which is get back up and keep trying, but if you get hit again, you're probably going to die. Which is what happens to our Danny Dyer character. He hijacks a car, tries to get away, drives to a checkpoint, and very quickly, crashes his car, and he dies. Your character has permadeath. We'll skim ahead slightly here. Yeah, presumably that's because he resisted, rather than giving in. Yeah, your character is just permadead. You have to go find someone else to put in your team now. And then you get given a selection of other characters to play as. So this dude that we were playing as, 30% melee damage, will never surrender. Maybe that's why he didn't do the surrender prompt, because he has the ability of will never surrender. Can execute an unblockable power hit. He's got some perk slots. You know, his salary and people he's connected to. It's interesting. So you've clearly got like a selection of characters off the bat in your party here. At this point in the game, it seems like you can only have 20, perhaps, on your team. And this person currently has 18 out of 20. 18 out of 20 doesn't seem to line up with what I'm counting here, but that's fine. So yeah, pick a new character, and I think next one we play as is my new favourite character, Helen Dashwood, the Hacker Granny. I fucking love this Hacker Granny, she's wonderful. Yeah. I want to play the whole game as Hacker Granny. Just... Can we just skip ahead a second, because I want to make a whole team of Hacker Grannies. I just want to play the game. I just want to play murderous Hacker Granny game. Can I do that? Can I just play the game as a team of Hacker Grannies? Because no one pays attention to a granny. Yeah. Yeah, everything's fine. Oh, just doot-to-doot-to-doo, scroll in. Oh, it turns out I have a fucking robot spider that I'm going to use to fucking hack the Matrix. Gonna electrocute and, like, electricity fuck a man's face off. Gonna shoot a man with stun things and then hack in to find out where our drone boy is. Stick a mask on, tase a cop in the face. This is the game I want to play. I want to play... I don't care about the other NPCs. I want to play as Hacker Granny, and I want Hacker Granny to be invincible, because I do not want anything bad to happen to Hacker Granny. I couldn't bring myself to keep playing if Hacker Granny died. She's the best. She's the best character. So now we play as Naomi Brooks, who's an enforcer. I'm going to skip ahead a bit. Camden Stables. This feels very familiar to Camden as an actual area. Like, it's definitely, like, there is a different coat of paint and neon on it, but, like, yeah, you could recognize this as Camden. Like, some of the building shapes and locations are very familiar. Like, that big horse statue, I'm going to skim back. There's a big horse statue that you'll see in here somewhere that is... Yeah, that is a thing in Camden, the big horse. I don't know why the big horse exists, but there is a big horse.
Copy that.
So yeah, this game features, and we're going to skip ahead to it, human trafficking in post-Brexit London. Definitely not a political game. Not in the slightest. Yeah, Yeah, there we go. Human trafficking. There's people in cages.
It's human trafficking.
Found Jimmy.
So mechanically, this game seems to be a shooter with tech abilities and special powers that vary from character to character. You know, it's all a little like one note, but it feels like London and it feels like British characters. Like I want to skip ahead to the pub if I can find it in a second. Oh yeah, here's just shooty bang bang. The actual gameplay. Be a hacker, shoot some people. This pub feels like the most British pub I've ever seen in a video game. It just has... It has the energy of British pub. Let me skim back so we can see the other wall of it. Because it just... It's those fucking... The flags hanging off the wall, the chalkboard on the wall, the overall sense of just brown. This is a British pub. This is a London pub. So yeah, I want to play as Hacker Granny. That's just a thing. Apparently the whole deal is like, if you want to recruit someone to your team, you have to play their like recruitment mission, and then you get them as a character. From there we got Ubisoft man talking about the game, and give me a second because I have feelings and thoughts here. This man wearing his mod shirt, he directly acknowledges Brexit, talks about how the UK is a surveillance state, mentions the idea of deportation squads, which is clearly an allusion to life post-Brexit, and suggests a world in which the NHS is gone, and as such, Grandad has to use cryptocurrency to buy a new kidney because there's no national health service anymore. It's not politics, though. It's not a politics game. There's no politics. But let's skip ahead a bit to the bit where they give examples of your teams you can build, because this is the primary thing left I want to talk about for this game, is how you build your teams.
Gangsta, awesome. The women of Bletchley Park?
The women of Bletchley Park.
Fucking invented hacking.
I do like that they lent into Bletchley Park old lady hackers. That is the team I want. I want a team called the Golden Girls, and it's just Bletchley Park old lady hackers. She's not old, she's experienced. It apparently comes out on the 6th of March 2020. I'm kind of into this. I enjoyed Watch Dogs 2 a lot more than the first Watch Dogs. I will... Yeah, let's fucking go. Yeah, here she is.
Fucking good.
It's better be fucking good.
Allow me to introduce you to the
Yeah.
of the lot.
She's
not old. She's experienced.
Yeah. I'm enjoying what we've seen of this. I'll give this a go. It's an interesting looking Ubisoft game. So yeah, from here we get on to, I forget this dude's name, but the actor from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Basically, he wanted to make a video game show, so him and a bunch of the executive producers on It's Always Sunny reached out to Ubisoft. It's only going to be on Apple TV. It's called Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet. And it's about a game development studio where they've got like a huge MMO and they're about to release their first like big expansion. And dude from It's Always Sunny basically plays a really egotistical game director. Oh gosh, Final Fantasy VII Remake is coming out the same day as Watch Dogs Legion. Gosh.
That team is my character, creative director, Ian Grimm.
So yeah, he plays a creative director who's... it seems weird. I can't remember his fucking name. It's annoying me now. But let's skip ahead and show the trailer. It seems... You know what it honestly reminds me of? It reminds me of the YouTube Red show Good Game, I think it's called, with the Game Grumps that was... it was written or directed or showrun by Jesse Cox. It feels like that, but a bit less... from people who know a little bit less about video games. Rob Helney is the actor's name, apparently. So yeah, the whole thing seems to be like, I think it's less about video games are more about this like auteur character who thinks very highly of himself. How do I?
When we think about legends,
Here's my thing. Maybe I'll be proven wrong, but this trailer seems to be much more about this creative director being an egotist rather than it is about game development itself. And because of the fact that Ubisoft are behind working on it, my suspicion is that we're not going to see this show like make any kind of negative commentary about things like loot boxes or game development crunch, because it feels like it probably has to have a certain degree of not upsetting Ubisoft, is my gut feeling, and I might be proven wrong, and I hope I'm proven wrong, but yeah, I don't feel like it gave me good game vibes, but like it doesn't seem as well written or as tuned into games. Lump of Deformity might be right. It does seem like it might be a bit more pro AAA. Oh, as you can see, I'm watching the Ubisoft stream because the IGN stream, because that's the first place that had the stream available, and they had a couple of dropouts. So yeah, that's Mythic Quest. I'm not too excited about it. What else did we get? Ubisoft characters are going to be available in Brawlhalla. It's available today. We got a little trailer for it. If I can skip ahead. More stuff about Rainbow Six Siege, which I honestly just skipped over because I don't know enough about Rainbow Six Siege to have anything interesting to say. But yeah, here we go. Brawlhalla with Adventure Time characters. Let's skip ahead to the actual gameplay-ish bit. Come on, where is it? Come on, gameplay. There we go. This looks like a fun, neat little addition. It's got Princess Bubblegum. Rainicorn, I think, is in there as well. Yeah, if you like Brawlhalla, like right now, today, there is Adventure Time content in that game. That's fun. Ghost Recon Breakpoint got a CG trailer that we're going to skip ahead to. Yeah, this is the guy who plays the Punisher. He's going to come up on stage in a minute.
This is Bam Bam the dog.
Okay, so first of all, I want to say I love that he's got his dog on stage. I don't know this for confirmation, but my gut feeling about this is that this might be a Carrie Fisher type situation where this is a support dog, and if so, that is super chill. Good, well done, good dog. Well done. I'm scared of dogs. I don't like dogs very much, but I can recognise that's a good boy right there. However, the CG trailer, this dude describing his character in the CG trailer, I will summarise it for you. Very generic description of army dude who thinks he's right, and he has an army. Blah blah blah, have my own moral code. Blah blah blah, know my enemy. Blah blah blah, won't surrender. He goes on like that for 3 minutes. The game is about two halves of a Spec Ops unit fighting each other, fighting against old friends and allies. We got some interesting information. You'll have AI teammates for solo players. That's good. Delta Company is a place or venue for sharing fan creations. It has content to support fan creators. I'm guessing it'll be stuff like cosplay reference guides and things like that. It's getting a beta on September 5th. There will be some kind of Terminator content coming to it. We saw Terminator's eyes and heard some Terminator music. Oh, we did get some news about Splinter Cell. Sorry, before I skip ahead, we get some news about Splinter Cell, sort of, kind of, a little bit. Are you ready to be disappointed by the Splinter Cell content? Because it's a bit disappointing. So we got a trailer that I was watching it and I went, oh, is that Sam Fisher? Oh, it's a tactical mobile game thing. Maybe it'll be good, but I see mobile game and my interest suddenly dwindles. So it's not specifically a Splinter Cell game. It is a Tom Clancy overall game. Tom Clancy's Elite Squad. You play as a handful of Tom Clancy characters, and you shoot people in an environment from behind cover. It's a little tactical cover shooter. It's not what I think people were hoping for when they saw Sam Fisher show up. Skip ahead a little further. Skip ahead a little further. We got Just Dance. We got the Just Dance montage that everyone assumed would be at the start of the conference. Yeah, lots of people dancing. I'm going to skim through it so I don't get content ID'd. Forerunner is getting a limited time event. There's a woman with a cool axe. She's the spirit of death. She's got short hair. It's nearly shaved off. She wears a mask. She's called Sakura. Shadows of the Hitakiri, I believe is the name of it. I'll skim through, try and show you the cool Death Lady. Where is she? Where's Death Lady? Yeah.
Is the spirit of death.
We didn't really see anything. You're going to be fighting against a lady with an axe. It's available until June 27th. There's a lot of these trailers that show us nothing. We got another CGI trailer. Ghost Recon... Oh, Rainbow Six Quarantine. There's a man who's infected. He has a wrist device that's strapped to him. It seems to be helping save him from the infection. He gets saved by some soldiers. It's a co-op game that's kind of based on Rainbow Six Siege, but instead of being, Siege, it's player versus environment co-op. It's a survival game, and there's some kind of parasite you're trying to deal with. Okay, three-player tactical co-op. It's early next year. Player versus environment. Survive the thing. The Division 2 is getting 3 days of free play from June 13th to 16th. So if you want to play the Division 2, you can do that. We got some updates about the Division 2. This autumn, there's Episode 2. It focuses on protecting the Pentagon. There's an 8-player raid in autumn. And then Episode 3 is something generically about hunting down an old teammate, and it's very important you do that. It'll release in early 2020. The Division movie is going to be on Netflix. It's not going to be in cinemas.
The National Zoo is the setting of our next mission.
There's some stuff in the National Zoo.
Castle.
I'm skipping through a lot of this. It's more Division. That's not my jam. If it's your jam, I'm sure you can watch the trailer and have more input than I did. Okay, so this is where we finally found out about Ubisoft's subscription model. It didn't end up being called Ubisoft Pass Premium, but it's Uplay Plus. Gets you the earliest possible access to games, which presumably means you'll get them earlier than their standard physical release date. It's only on PC currently. You'll have over 100 games on the service at launch. $14.99 a month. It launches in September, and it gets you unlimited access to 100 plus Ubisoft games on PC. It will include new releases, like they gave some examples. Ghost Recon Breakpoint and Watch Dogs Legions will be on that subscription service day one, so it seems like it's a good competitor to what is it? Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass, in that you will get cool big games when they come out. It's not just old games. Apparently it'll be supported on Stadia as well. So if you wanna have a bunch of games streamed to you, that's an option. Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Watch Dogs Legion, those will both be on there for $14.99 a month. If you're a big Ubisoft game player, that doesn't seem like a bad offer, perhaps. There is Phil Harrison from Stadia. There. Right. Okay, here we go. This is the bit I wanted to talk about. It's Roller Champions time. Who's ready? This is the game I got hyped for. So I'm gonna have to start and stop and pause and go on this one because I have a lot of thoughts and feelings. So, first of all, roller derby doesn't usually have a ball. We'll get to that in a second. So I like the implication that this game seems to have like a story mode and a lot of like focus on practicing and getting better at the sport and shit. I like that it's treating this properly. Like I like that the story stuff we're seeing here is treating this like, hey, no, it's a you know, a proper sport. You have to practice and stuff. But that also the people practicing it are cool as fuck. So yeah, everyone that we're seeing here is on quad skates, or at least so far. But in the concept art, there are definitely people on inline skates. You definitely don't use inline skates in roller derby. You would get knocked sideways over far too easily in contact. Obviously, there's the inaccuracy of they're not wearing regulation safety gear. So yeah, okay. Let's talk about the scoring system in a second. So in this, you score by going around doing a lap of the track and then throwing the ball through the hoop. In actual roller derby, what you do is you have to get to the front of the pack, do a lap, and then you've got to get past the other team's players, and that's what scores you the points. And then you've got to get around the track and then past them again to score more points. It's about breaking through the pack and passing the other players more than it is the ball. So I'm curious to see whether any of the pack positional stuff will stay in the final game. Let me see. I need to give this a play later. It definitely has caught the energy of a roller derby. I need to see if everyone is going anti-clockwise around the track, or whether you are occasionally seeing people go clockwise. I thought at some point I saw a collision between an anti-clockwise and a clockwise player that would be definitely not within the rules of the of the game. But I'm so excited. Yeah, it's basically it's roller derby, rollerball thing, but I as soon as I finish this stream, I'm gonna install that game, boot it up, and then start streaming because I want to play like 45 minutes of that game before. Okay, apparently you can go both directions in the demo. Ooh, okay. There is definitely some differences between this and roller derby. I can tell you that. Emertis brilliant. This game looks fun, but I was honestly hoping for a proper roller derby game. Yeah, honestly, like, here's the thing. I'm sure it'll still be fun. It's definitely not 100% a roller derby game. It's positional, which you could have done in a racing style, come to think of it. Could be fun even if it's not really a sim. The whole I'm open and then pass system is great once people figure it out. Blast of Times. Roller Champions has a demo out right now. You get more points for more laps. 1, 2, 3 laps. Oh, okay, I see. So there is a bit of the trying to lap the other team system. So basically, the more laps you can do without losing the ball, the higher the point score when you do throw the ball through the hoop. You lose all the accumulated laps if your team loses the ball. Oh, that's okay. I like that. That feels at least thematically similar to the trying to get as many laps on the other team as you can before you call off the jam. Because it's typically 2-minute jams, but you can call it off early if you think they're gonna lap your team before you can get back round again. Managing 3 laps and scoring as an instant win makes you feel very shiny indeed. Okay. 3 laps and a goal does feel... That feels somewhat like managing to do 3 passes of the other team and then calling off the jam or the jam ending because 2 minutes is up. yeah, I really hope that this game does well, because if Fantasy Roller Derby does well, I'm hoping that means we can get an actual proper sim roller derby kind of game. I don't know how long the beta's online for, which is kind of why I want to try it tonight. Also, I'm writing a feature about it for a fairly big website this week as part of... oh, you can play until the 14th, apparently, so there's a few days to try it out. So yeah... Let's skim ahead. There's only one other thing really I want to talk about, which is that last game of the conference. Oh yeah, sorry. There is more footage. Sorry, I forgot there was more footage to watch. Let's skip back. So yeah, it's on a bank track, which is a very American roller derby thing. The UK tends to play flat track derby. It seems like directional blocking's not going to be a problem. I like that the tune back here is about sort of self-expression, be who you want to be on the track, which is very much in the energy of roller derby. Oh yeah, 10th to the 14th, the demo. Okay, I got to play a bunch of this demo this week. I'm going to be streaming this several times this week, I think. So yeah, let's talk about the final new game that we don't get to see very much of. It's called Gods and Monsters. It's a game about mythology, very painterly art style. You play as a girl who the gods come to for help. So yeah, let's skip back a bit. Come on, here we go. So yeah, very, very painterly art style. Gorgeous looking design for this game, if this is representative of the full game, but obviously this is not an in-engine trailer that we can tell. What mythological creatures do you see along here? Is that a Medusa? I think that was a Medusa. And you have some kind of cool laser sword with a glowing edge. And you're going to fight this cool behemoth thing. I want to try this game. It looks fun. I don't know enough about it from this tease to know if I should be excited. That's Gods and Monsters. That is the big tease. It's coming February 25th, 2020. Like, it's February next year. I would have hoped we'd have seen gameplay footage for it. I was hoping. Okay, sorry. It's been pointed out in the chat, Medusa is a Gorgon. Gorgons are the type of creature. Medusa is the individual. Yeah, right. Yeah, you're totally right, Spaghetto Depressi. There sure was a lot of angry white military guys murdering each other in this Ubisoft conference. Yeah. I think that's everything we need to see on this one. I would normally stick around to talk about opinions and thoughts and ask for everyone's feedback in the chat, but I need to go install Roller Champions so that we can do a quick couple of rounds of that before the Kind of Funny conference, because I want to get half an hour of Roller Champions in. I'm doing it. No one can stop me. Thank you very much for watching this live stream. I will be back in like 5 or 10 minutes with my roller derby game. See you in a minute.